evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And my name's something something.
And you're watching Examining the Expanse. So in the previous episode, our neo-noir detective's physical body died in this beautiful full circle arc where it all started with Julie Mao and him trying to find her. Then he actually had this emotional moment with her.
Which is kind of weird. Like, I guess they probably end up... There's a few throwaway lines like later, I guess, that they talk about maybe the proto-molecule is creating some link or something, right? Because Julie Mao actually saw him just before she carked it in the bathroom of the little...
Yeah, and there's this little like hummingbird set up this whole time where he keeps on seeing it, and then he sees it when he's within Eros. So Julie Mao is like calling him in a way, baiting him into the situation.
Because if she's not, then it's a bit fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Because he becomes like infatuated with essentially what would be whatever image he's conjured up of how she is in his head,
his
right?
imagination of her.
What's his face even said, whoever it was said that she'd probably kill him or whatever.
Yeah.
If they actually met. Like
in real life before she was a proto-molecule entity. An ethereal proto-molecule ghost monster.
So,
yeah, I enjoyed it. In the book, there's a lot more going into like how depressing and empty Miller's life is. Like he's an alcoholic, and he talks about his divorce a lot. And he sees kids on the train with like their parents, and he's like, "I got nothing." And then, like, he gets this one case, and he's not even doing his police work. He's just like,
just becomes obsessed with it.
Yeah, and then it comes full circle, and the tonal shifts. The 2 episodes leading up to that is like fast-paced action drama, and it moves into this slow, like ethereal, surreal character drama with all the visuals and stuff.
Hey, can you hear me? You need to come back to me now.
Yeah, it's interesting how this is like high concept sci-fi, but then there's like magic, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like its version of magic.
It's so, but when they don't explain it, it's science fantasy, right? If you're not going, it's the quantum flux, fucking doing the blah 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 with the reverse polarity,
techno-babble,
right? And it's just kind of, and I guess it's not so prominent that it's like a big deal, I guess, to sort of overanalyze it.
Yeah, it becomes more and more prevalent. This is the seed of the proto-molecule, like becoming a bigger player in the game, opening up the portal and whatnot, turning into a space mushroom. Because up until this point, it's just kind of this like Chernobyl-esque radiation that fucks people up. And from that it becomes this, hey, I'm a space jellyfish. I'm a portal to 2,000 other worlds.
That scene where it becomes the jellyfish and comes out of the planet is so fucking cool.
Eros looks at the TV like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
Or he's pouring the milk for the kids or whatever. That's great.
So we just come off the back of this like great character arc, and like there's a little bit of time, but there's barely any time like dwelling on Miller and what's happened. The show just immediately moves on to setting up
you don't
all
have
these
time.
other plot lines.
You don't have time to sort of like lament on it,
Yeah,
they do lament on it. Right? You see the characters sort of like talking about him and how he's perceived afterwards, like the legend
becomes
of
a
Miller,
hero,
and all that sort of stuff.
But like in Vikings, they killed off Lagertha and then it just fucking dwelled on it.
Oh, you spoiled it for me.
It dwelled on it for so many episodes. I was just like, this is tedious.
Is it still going? Is Vikings still going?
There's one more half season to go. 10 episodes.
How many seasons is that?
6? I don't know. I don't hate it.
I just lost total interest in it.
That's fair. I don't know. I have to sit down and reevaluate my opinion on it.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, last season it was tedious to review.
It should have been Bjorn. This is a tangent now. It should have just been Bjorn going on his worldly adventures.
Yeah.
For me, like that would have been great, right? But they did like two episodes.
It gets bogged down in the pace a lot of the time, where it's not moving quick enough.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison to like a show like this. But yeah, Miller's just died, and then it sets up all of these next events to transpire.
Yeah.
Right at the end, we get Ganymede getting attacked, and Bobby Draper, who was like this hoorah, patriotic, Martian commando. Her whole arc begins here with her like betrayal and disenfranchisement.
She's got one of the best fucking arcs.
Yeah. Such a great character.
Yeah, she is.
Like they use her as like a mouthpiece to just press their politics, but she's like, no, fuck you. You murdered my team. And she's such like a great female character. We always hear things about these strong female characters, but they're just never well written.
No.
You look at like Star Wars or whatever the other like thing is they're pressing, and it just, the reason we're not connecting with these characters is because they're not well written. That's all it is.
She's like she's really assertive.
Yeah.
But she has initially has a gung-ho attitude, right, of like the military, but then, you know, all the cracks start appearing in the facade that she's being sold, and she's not just going along with it.
And it slowly unravels.
Conflicting emotions and like conflicting with her reality, crashing in to conflict with her ideology.
Yeah, a whole world, everything she's built her life on is just talon away from her because they fucking betrayed her horribly.
And she's thick as hell.
Yeah.
She's thick, boy. She's thick.
The actress is like a boxer.
She's like,
or was a boxer.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's just an actress now.
I'm sure she could snap me in two.
Oh yeah, beat the shit out of both of us and Jasper. The show has a lot of ethnic and female characters as leads, but it doesn't like go out and say
it. Doesn't harp on about it.
Yeah, I didn't even realise till like my second watch through.
They're just characters.
Yeah, they're just great, well-written characters in a great, well-written narrative. But you know, like the Ghostbusters singer, it's like strong female character, or the Star Wars singer, strong female, or the Doctor Who, strong female, like they have the publicity and the press around it going, look at us, we're righteous.
Like a white man.
We're here, we're here for the cause. With this, it does everything right, but I didn't even notice because it's just a show I'm watching.
Yeah,
I'm not here for the politics. I'm not here for all this bullshit.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the point being, right, is that the sort of articles that get written about that stuff doesn't reflect reality.
No.
Right, like talking about how, the Expanse is super representative of whatever, women of colour and strong female characters, doesn't generate clicks, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a show, and you got characters, I don't care.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that half of them are women and half of them are ethnic. I'm just watching this fucking show because I like the storyline and I like the dialogue and I like the narrative. The Ghostbusters, Steve. Remember Ghostbusters?
No, I don't. I love the first Ghostbusters movie. Masterpiece.
Yeah. What? Yeah, the 80s one.
Yeah.
Bill Murray. Dan Aykroyd. Harold Ramis. Yeah, there's also this great subversion in this episode of the reveal of Holden and Naomi's relationship.
Yeah.
Where they tell Amos and Alex. And it completely subverts your atypical, like, interpersonal character drama. Where, like, Vikings or whatever would be like, drama! Interpersonal drama!
What it is, right, is... without communication between Holden and, say, Amos, which I guess he was expecting conflict from about it, right, without communication, Holden has created, he's created an image of what he thinks Amos thinks.
Yeah, and we as an audience had that same tendency towards Holden's point of view.
And if they didn't communicate it, right, then you would never find out or whatever.
Yeah,
But just through like people talking to it, actually communicating with each other.
Yeah, it just gets it out in the open. It's like, oh, this isn't a big deal. Now let's move on. Fred Johnson has 30 nukes.
When did it start?
Just after we got out of Eros.
I knew it.
God damn it! Son of a bitch!
So it's funny. I don't know how far you've gotten in the books, right?
I'm just at the point where Eros was shut down and all this shit happened with the fight and the radiation, and they're not off yet.
Well, the interesting thing about Fred Johnson and Tycho Station, they use one throwaway line and then that's it in the show about the Mormons doing a lawsuit. Against them, because that never amounts to anything.
Yeah, they end up taking the ship again and turning it into the Belters. The behemoth.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of backstory about that. That like the person who actually owns Tycho Station is like a huge benefactor of the OPA and all this sort of stuff, and he's super rich and super well connected, and so he's happy to just let Fred Johnson trash the corporation's good name, I guess.
Yeah, because he just stays in power. Nothing really.
Nothing happens. So
the lawsuit just dies in the ice. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not at that point. At all yet.
Well, I'll just spoil it for you. So.
Suck it. Jasper has spoiled a bunch of micro things.
Suck it.
I don't know how reviewing like the new season is going to go with Jasper, because he's read the books and he's bad at fucking holding his tongue out.
I know.
We're going to be drinking beers. I'm going to be sitting next to him drinking beers, talking about this new season. Like, oh, you can't wait to what happens next, man.
Just cut it. Just cut it out. Like just
cut Jasper.
Yeah. Even if it's mid-sentence. I was gonna say cut it. Like just cut mid-sentence every time Jasper says something. I just bleep him out. But kind of your life.
I just feel like, don't spoil it, Jasper.
No. Well, you'd be like, don't ever talk to me again, Jasper.
Yeah, I mean that might be a reasonable course of action to take.
I've had enough of you. You finally you've
crossed the line.
You've
spoiling the Expanse. Has ruined a decade-old friendship. This is what I can't take. All the physical abuse. That was acceptable.
Yeah.
Ruining the Expanse. You're out.
Get out of my house.
Out of my life.
My name's Solomon Epstein, and I changed everything.
We also get a bunch of world building in this episode with the invention of the Epstein Drive and how that formed this world. And it's just hammering home the rules and mechanics of the world and how it functions and giving you a little bit of backstory, which is interesting. And I like the idea of somebody inventing something and it being their demise. It's like when that guy invented LSD and he got it on his hands and then he rode home on his bike on like the first ever trip and just like the most hectic, worst time of his life. I like that when something's invented by accident and it's just like, holy fuck, what is this? What is going on?
Well, the one of the guys who ended up creating the first atom bomb, he created it like it was like a week or something or 2 days after he'd said it was not possible.
Yeah.
No, it is. I love that. I love the Epstein Drive segment that they sort of scatter in there.
They talk about really interesting. In the book too, how he's still going and where he would be. I think he's just passed out of the Milky Way at this point. Like he's just past Pluto and he's just a skeleton that's been gone for like 130 years in his ship. And like they can't catch him.
They can't.
He's just gone. He's an eternal monument to
That's awesome.
the Epstein Drive.
That's really cool. I love that.
I think his little story is like a novella too, because they write the novels and they have little books in between. Or just like a side thing, like 130 years ago, this. So it's interesting how they're cutting those little books in there as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
not like Game of Thrones where they're like, we got all this material, we're not going to use it. Like, hey, we've got all this material, let's actually use it.
Yeah.
Because the most dangerous thing about being in a high G burn is that if it goes on too long, it'll kill you.
There's a bunch of tension in this episode too between Amos and Alex being of Mars and of Earth. And it's interesting how, like, we have the political landscape, but then within the Rossi, it's like a microcosm of that larger political landscape. Because you got Holden and Amos from Earth, and Alex is from Mars, and Naomi's hardcore belter. So we see it play out on the large political scale, then we see it play out on a small personal scale within the ship.
It is interesting, yeah, that's actually really interesting. Yeah, a microcosm of the
larger political
conflict between the conflicting interests and values and hopes and dreams of the various factions or whatever.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's just, good writing.
17 Martians died in that attack.
Do you want to do something about it? Go ahead. Take a shot.
At some point, you're gonna get to the point where all you're doing is just fucking wanking off the writers of the Expanse.
Yeah. It's like with Picard, we just sat down for 10 weeks straight, just like, well, it wasn't well written. I don't know what else I can say. They can't write a show. But this is the opposite. Just keep on sitting down every week, like, well.
I hope Patrick Stewart got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. And I think he's like elderly enough to be oblivious to how terrible it was.
I don't think he cares. I
feel like if he watched like the Plinkett review, it would break his little heart.
Well, bloody, you project that I would like look at him having done Next Generation. Then, he must care about the character. I don't think he gives a crap.
He's an actor, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he knows anything about like constructing a narrative.
Well, I don't think
he gets the thing, and then he's able to get those words and portray them with his acting. But yeah, he was not talking about Picard, but he had like a hand in the writer's room. It's like, you're not a writer. Clint Eastwood is the greatest example of this, because like he's been in 200 films as an actor. He's directed like 100 films. He's one of the most acclaimed actors and directors of all time. He's written 0 fucking movies because he's self-aware enough to go, oh, I can't write.
Some of his movies that he's made are fucking awful. It's so bad.
Steve,
no. So fucking
Which
terrible.
ones?
There's one where there's a chick that's in jail for something, like she was picked up for being a prostitute or something in Las Vegas, I think it is.
Yeah.
But she's part of a larger conspiracy that people are trying to kill her, and she's involved in something. And he's like a detective, so he's got to go pick her up, and like all the cops are involved in it.
It's like a romance thing.
Yeah, romance.
Odd couple. Yeah, I've seen like half of that movie. I stopped watching that movie.
It was fucking.
I don't know if he necessarily directed that one.
He did. He's credited as that's his.
Well, he didn't write it. Okay, Steve. He's self-aware enough to go, I don't know how to write narratives.
Well, the buck stops with him on that movie. That's what I'll say. I've seen.
You can't badmouth Clint Eastwood.
I've seen 5 good movies of Clint Eastwood in it, and that's it. Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Power Rider, Josie Wales, which is actually really cheesy.
Outlaw Josie Wales is amazing.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's a bit cheesy.
Yeah.
Gran Torino, so that's 6.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven, that's really good.
$1 Million Baby with Hilary Swank.
I haven't seen that.
The Academy Award winning about the story of.
Nobody knows what that movie is. All I care was he in
Hang 'em
Star Wars?
High.
Oh yeah, Hang 'em High. That's
High Plains Drifter, Every Which Way But Loose. There's the one where he's the ex-JFK.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, there is like 1,000 amazing.
That's like 9 movies.
I can keep on going.
That's like
Dirty Harry.
The Dirty Harry movies are great.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
They're so stupid. They're so great.
Well, yeah, it's like the pre Die Hard.
Yeah, well, he created
Yeah.
that was what created modern action movies.
Yeah. So fuck you, Steve.
So that's like 15, man.
15 genre-breaking movies that changed the industry. Okay. All right.
You really think Josie Wales was a genre-breaking movie?
No. But for a few dollars more.
No. I was just kidding. Yeah. Most of the movies.
I'll kill you. What is what? Don't worry. I guess different people like different
No,
things.
everybody's tuned out.
I like Clint Eastwood.
You're gonna start getting dislikes now.
I don't give a fuck.
No, you don't.
If I did this for likes and views, I wouldn't be doing Star Trek reviews.
That's true, yeah. There's plenty of other
car crash
There's
compilations.
plenty of other people that are way more successful Star Trek reviews than you are.
Oh, well.
I almost called you Jasper. I almost said Jasper. They're indistinguishable.
I'm not the greatest YouTube Star Trek reviewer. Okay, Steve. What are you excelling at, Steve? What are you excelling at?
It's a secret.
6 Marines. About 2.3 clicks out on foot, closing fast. They appear to be charging us.
So yeah, the last 5 minutes of this episode is hectic, and once again, a great use of editing and music and tension. Bobby Draper and her team's comms all get jammed and the suspense just spikes. All of a sudden, they're unable to communicate with each other and they're getting this horrible sound blared through their helmet of these approaching people, and then a firefight breaks out above them and we see this satellite shatter into 1,000
Pure
pieces.
chaos.
Yeah, so it's like your ticking clock element. It's all about to rain down on them. And like, we don't see a lot, but it's all revealed later on, the drone.
Yeah, well, that becomes one of the a political incident. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, Ganymede, and then, yeah, we get the Asian guy who's looking for his daughter from this situation. So much like Eros, how the events of Eros echoed through the Expanse and impacted all the characters, Ganymede does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They don't just have an event that happens and goes. It's like all these moments impact characters moving forward.
Well, it impacts the whole solar system.
Yeah. This starts Bobby Draper's arc. This starts that Asian guy looking for his daughter's arc. And yeah, just a great cliffhanger as her people are slaughtered and we see this monster with no vac suit in the vacuum of space looking over her as thousands of shards of a satellite are about to come raining down on her and roll credits and you're like, what the fuck? What happened? Ah!
Her commanding officer or whatever just dies, like, just gets shot.
Yeah, this character they set up is just like dead.
Yeah,
done and dusted. And then she wakes up and like her recovery is brutal.
Yeah, it is, yeah,
broken
brutal.
And
basically being like
fucked up.
interrogated and well, the again, as you said, the whole arc with her is so great. It's fucking amazing. I love that whole segment.
Yeah, she's a great character who goes through a great transition from naive, patriotic hoorah Marine to her eyes being open to politics.
Well, we get a lot. Following this, we get a lot more insight into the political machinations of Mars.
Yeah, absolutely. Season 1 didn't touch on Mars that much at all, and then this becomes more of a political Tom Clancy style thriller with Earth trying to figure out what Mars has done, and it's slowly getting revealed, and then Bobby Draper going over to Earth and asking for asylum.
Don't spoil it, you're spoiling it. What are you going to talk about in the next episode now? Oh man, the writing was so good.
I'm going to talk about Clint Eastwood and $1 Million Baby, and that chick falls and breaks her neck on the stool. And then he kills her, Steve.
Yeah.
He turns the machine off. Yeah, so in conclusion, Clint Eastwood is amazing and Steve is totally wrong.
I didn't say that!
I'll roll the tape back, but you definitely said
I hate Clint
he
Eastwood.
was a hack fraud. He can't act. And his name should not be public knowledge.
He's going to rock up to my door and break my kneecaps.
95-year-old man.
with a like a lead pipe.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you guys are pretty even on the physical.
Oh, yeah.
95-year-old man.
Is he 95?
He's 95.
Are you joking?
He's actually 95, and he's
Wow.
directing movies.
Yeah, he's still going.
Yeah, he's
That's
still
crazy.
directing movies.
Yeah.
5 years off 100. I mean, look at our parents are like 50 and like, what are you doing? You're not directing Academy Award winning pictures. And you're not even 95.
I watched the first Terminator for the first time the other day.
For the first time?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I must have watched it when I was really young, but I've never actually sat down and watched the first one. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, just low budget as fuck. But yeah, effective storytelling. James Cameron.
Yeah, no, I didn't realise that the first one was like James Cameron.
Yeah. First and second, and then he bails.
And you got all the people from like Aliens in it. And
Yeah, same actors and crew and everything.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's so fucking young there, right?
Ridiculously jacked.
Yeah, steroids!
It's amazing how he became this huge superstar when his accent is so thick.
Yeah, he was in some movie or something. He was going to be cast, and they didn't want his because his accent is like southern redneck for Austria.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, and they want to dub him over with something
it's like
else.
Hercules in New York. I've seen clips from it, like cheesy as fuck, fish out of water type of thing. And yeah, they wanted him for his body.
Yeah.
He's told millions of stories about trying to break into the industry and then being like, Arnold, what's your like, what the fuck?
Okay.
You need to change your name. You need to like not talk
you
like that.
You need to sort your accent.
You need to learn how to act. It's like
becomes one of the greatest fucking action stars ever.
This is incredibly true. Thank you all for watching. We'll have you guys like, subscribe in the comments, tell us what all the facts are about opinions are null and void. Thank you and good night. Steve!
Why did I drink all those beers?